After a long day of slime ranching, Beatrix Lebeau was enjoying a cool glass of carrot juice as she watched the sun set across the slime sea. Suddenly, a boat arrived at her dock with nothing inside but a mysterious letter. You have explored the far, far range from the dusty shores of the dry reef to the furthest reaches of the perilous glass desert. But there are worlds yet uncharted, Beatrix Lebeau. Rainbow Island awaits you. Climb aboard if you're ready for a new adventure. Beatrix excitedly boarded the boat and it took her across the slime sea. Eventually, she saw an island unlike anything on the far, far range. Mountains, trees, and grasses, all in an array of colors that danced and moved like a dream. Sorry for the poor reading. As she explored, she found an abandoned conservatory overlooking the rest of the island. Curiously, it was equipped with everything a slime rancher like her would ever need to wrangle slime, start a farm, and build gadgets. And so a new adventure begins. Beatrix tightened her boots, readied her backpack, and set out to explore Rainbow Island and uncover its mysteries. And that is the start of our new adventure. The adventure of Beatrix in the Rainbow Isles. Islands? Isles? Whatever. Either way. Of course, you start off with the ever so lovely pink slimes. And apparently I picked up a chickadee. With these pink slimes, I'm not going to toss them into the slime sea like I've done in the past. I've done that a lot in the past. Instead, they shall go out to pasture. You can have those. Now, just like with the other range, you collect your food for your slimes. And also like it, we have new things. These cotton slimes. That's a pink slime. Cotton slimes that look like rabbits. Oh, and there's a lucky cat. Now, you need chickens for that. So I will grab a chicken and feed it. And bam, there it goes. Now you can feed it at least 3 times. Unless that happens. But also, like the other game, like Slime Rancher, the first one, you get new items. And I believe our first new item rests right up here, right past this door. This sweet little cotton slime, there is its favorite food, water lettuce. Now, from what I know, there are I think 5 new slimes in the game. Of course, that cotton slime is the first one. And I will be pointing out the new ones as we come across them. And as I said in the Monster Hunter video, I will not be continuing my first Slime Rancher series. Mostly because it was getting a little repetitive. You have a carrot. I'll give you a water lettuce some other time. Now these cotton slimes, of course, other than pink slimes, every other slime has a unique trait. Now I can already tell you what the new plorts are, and it looks like there are 4 new plorts. It is the cotton, the angler, the bat, the flutter, and the squirrel one that I can't remember what it's called. But we'll come across that another time. For now, we need to start a farm. Did I give you high walls yet? Okay. Chuck a water lettuce in there. Good little buddies. And of course, we are going to go through the slightly repetitive thing of going back and forth between the ranch and the range. This will allow us to get ourselves more slimes and more plots. Like that. Yeah. Sorry, my throat's acting a little weird because it's not used to me talking like this. But I'm probably going to narrate the first while of this like this. And of course, if it starts getting too long, I shall shorten it. With editing! Because I said I would start editing more. Darn it, I keep my promises. I also might start doing videos on 3D printing, because I do now have a 3D printer. So you might end up getting special looks at things. And if I so desire, I might actually start using the Patreon as a way to use the 3D printer more. AKA people who actually pledge or subscribe to the Patreon will actually probably get some free 3D prints. Or at least 3D prints at a reduced cost. Look at these little guys. They're doing their stacking thing again. Now, there are also new areas. This is the cave zone, called the Gully. Actually, it's not the cave zone. It looks like it's going to be, but it is not. But that is the entrance to the Gully. There's another one, I believe it is on the other side. Yeah, the other side. Oh, yep, there's one back here. This is the archway, which, true to its name, it actually has some very large archways, which you can kind of see one of them back from here. And then, over here, we have... what's this called? The Den! This is the cave zone. This is the one that actually looks like a cave. Now, of course, we will be exploring more, but another thing this game has that the other one didn't is everywhere, the only lock there is on a place is... whoops, I did not mean to pick you up. The only lock we have is those Gordos. Gordos are the only thing blocking us from the next zone. So I will be trying to pop those, for lack of a better term, as often as possible. Another thing there is there is no more crates in the traditional sense. Now, the only crates that there are, I will try to find one before actually explaining. Of course, we have the dangerous zones. Down here may not be one of them, but down here there is a Phosphor Gordo. And this is just a cave. It actually leads somewhere else, but I do believe it does not have a little button attached to it. A little entryway to a new zone. Though it might in the future, this game is not fully out yet. It is in early access. So, as new things develop, I will be making new videos on it. Though it might take a while for new things to come out, because it did only come out September 22nd. Apologies. As it is today, the 13th of October, this may take a while for new features and whatnot to come out. Now these ones only accept vegetables. See, if I launch a fruit, it doesn't eat it. But also, we don't have to worry about that one yet. Because, we don't have to fully worry about it yet. Because there should be, over this way, that is a refinery. And these are little data pads. These are, drones where we can learn about the land. Oops, fire slide. But also, if we look at the map, you can see this heavy fog. That is unlocked by those little things, which are map nodes. At least that's what I'm calling them. Of course, you will see me doing some weird terrain jumping in order to get to areas early. Actually, that's one I thought of just now. Oh crap. You will see me do that a lot. If you watch as I collect this first one, technically speaking the first one should have been back there, but I didn't grab it. You see, a fog lifts, and we can see the terrain. Another thing is, around here somewhere there should be, other than tabby slimes, we see some fruit, and that is one of the pillars. That is unlocked by... it's unlocked over there, I think, if I remember correctly. Oh, it hasn't been that long, and I'm already forgetting things. Like how to get up there in the first place. Right over here. My apologies. I'm bad with directions. Apparently I'm really bad with directions, because this isn't the right way either. There's a cave over here. No entryway. Ah, yes. Right over here. There's a pink Gordo. He is on top of a geyser. And those geysers are our key to getting up there. These geysers are actually littered about in miscellaneous spots. But we don't necessarily need it. It's just the easiest way. Ah, and then you have these. These, as you can see, upgrade to harvest it. These are our little resources that we need to upgrade our backpack and everything else in the game. Backpack was just the first example I could think of. But of course, our first objective I will set to be popping the pink Gordo, because it should be the easiest. Because pink Gordos do not have a favorite food. Instead, accept every food. They are not picky. Unlike tabby slimes, which only eat meat. Cotton slimes, which I keep wanting to call them hop slimes. That's not it. Cotton slimes, which only eat vegetables. These, which only eat fruit, and they're phosphor slimes. And a plethora of other slimes. Though the hardest to keep from what I have seen is a new one called a flutter slime. Because those only survive on nectar. How do you get nectar, you might ask? That is a good question. The reason I'm saying it like that is because I don't actually have an answer. And of course, as in the other game, we start off with a limit of 20 items in one tank. So as you can see, I have 20 cotton slimes. I can't pick up more. And yes, that even includes if I have another slot open, I cannot pick up more. So instead, I'll just make my way over to this guy. Toss in these pogo fruit. Which, pogo fruit and carrots are the first two vegetables/fruits in the game. But, it is recommended not to actually farm them. For one big reason. They are found almost everywhere in the game, and no slimes have it as their favorite food. Oh, and here's that other map I was talking about, which unlocks this first area, or at least the map for it. As you can see a lot of fog over there, but this area right here and this other area right over here are the other two islands in the game so far. They might add more later, at least that's what it looks like. There's also, this doesn't really contain much, but here is that other place I was talking about. That is the cotton slimes. Though technically, if we really wanted to, we could probably access it early. Which I might try that. But I'll only try it after depositing the fruit into the slime, which this should be the last push. There it goes. Pop. All this drops, and here are the new crates. They don't actually look like crates, but you throw them, and it gives you stuff. I'm sorry, chicken. And geysers send you flying upward. As you can see, I press this, that tower glows, drops down, and we have our first teleporter. And as you can see, we can see behind it what kind of terrain it's going to be. This is the volcanic zone. Once we go in, it doesn't exactly look like it's a volcano zone at first, but as you will see in a little bit, it very much is. If my narrating like this gets annoying, just tell me, and I will cease it. Cease it. I don't know why that sounded weird to me. More geysers and everything. And also, most of the researches you can get are achieved through pods. Yes, those pods are back in the game. In order to access that, we stand here, and it lifts us up with enough momentum to grab the map. This area over here is just a small offshoot, doesn't really have much to it. But if I walk over here, you can finally see the volcanic zone. Now this area is controlled by I believe it's bat boom slimes, yep. Angry bat boom slimes, which I will not be going over there for now. I only did that to show you. And of course, those are feral slimes. Yes, those are back in the game. But here is our first volcanic zone, and this is another new slime, the Batty Slime. Its diet is fruits, which the main fruit you can find is up there. Those I will show you in a second, because their name is a pretty clever pun. And also, this area has this little downward area which contains the Batty Largo, for Gordo. And we have fire slimes again. These little buggers ride on a diet of fire, which is why we get disintegrators, I think is what they're called. Now it looks like we have a bit of a hover. That's because we sort of do, but in reality that's just a jump. Instead, our main focus will be on these. These are, as you can tell, pomegranate. And that is our first pod. We don't need an upgrade to open it, we just open them. Stalagmite, that's interesting. Something else you can get from them, which will be useful later on, is energy modules and health modules. Those are actually necessary in order to sorry about that. In order to upgrade your jetpack and everything. Whoops. That was a stony hen. I murdered it. And here is a look at our third new slime, the angler slime. Of course, you can tell it looks like an angler, and anytime it does that flash, it stuns nearby slimes. There's some more rock slimes. Those were in the previous game. Another phosphor slime. I'm sorry. And this one, of course, has angry slimes as well. These are angry phosphor angler largos. Those are largos. The other one, the biggest ones are gordos. That is also something I get mixed up a lot. So don't blame me if I say the wrong thing. And as I'm making my way back to our ranch, I will end it. I will end the video once we get back to our ranch. That way it gives me time for if I spot something, I will mention it. Or if I remember something, like for instance, the fact that gold slimes are in the game again. Yet from what I've seen, I have only seen one of them in my other playthrough, which is my casual, non-recorded playthrough. In that one, I'm gonna be a lot more experimental. In this one, I'll try and be more meticulous. And try not to die as much. If I die, then you'll probably just see me die, and then it'll cut to me being alive and doing something else. So that's how I'm gonna record, or how I'm going to cut this. And also, quite a bit of the running will be cut out. The first episode, however, is going to be, well, this. And it's going to include a bit of an intro where we're seeing the original Slime Rancher. And with me putting these in and collecting those other ones, it'll mark the end of our first journey, or the first leg of our journey. The next one, I will probably end up getting that other one, the other area unlocked, and I will also be capturing more slimes. I might do that off camera, however, and we'll see what that is all about. So as this is the end, I bid thee adieu.